Welcome to this episode of the Gunman. In this video, I'll be taking you through how to get the panels on this VESS Commodore all edged up, ready to paint. So the way I've decided to do this job is to paint the inside of the bonnet and the fender, and then I decided I wanted to get them placed back on the car so that we're going to get the colour correct. Usually I probably wouldn't do a job like this, but I've done this colour before and it doesn't cover very well, so it's a good idea to get them bolted up to make sure that once you paint the panels you don't put them on and there's a slight colour difference. So we'll start off. So basically this job, it's just a bonnet, new bonnet, a new fender, a new front bumper bar, and a blend on the driver's side fender, and a blend on the passenger side front door. It's actually a ute, so it's the only door on passenger side. So yeah, here we go. We'll start off. I've already scotched the inside of that bonnet with a bit of maroon or red Scotch Brite. You could alternately use 500 soft pad or something like that. So we'll start off. We've got our seam sealer gun there. We've cut that nozzle off. You can see that little tab that's sitting down the side allows you to run that bead across the edge of the bonnet or the hood nice and evenly. Then set your air powered gun up and you just pull the trigger and it'll just feed the seam sealer out for you nice and even. So that's actually probably a bit harder than what it looks, to be honest. It's easier when the guns spray them out nice and quick. If you've only got a caulking gun and you don't have these nozzles, it can be quite difficult. But where I used to work, I had to use it like that because it's all we had. So yeah, this is a very easy way of doing it. These guns cost might be about $100 for a gun. I think the seam sealer canisters are about $16 or $20 as well each. So, but you know what? If you don't do this step, I've seen it before, and you've seen bonnets just rust out all around those seams. So it's a pretty important part. It actually doesn't take too long either. A couple of years, it'll start rusting out. So once we've got the seam all sealed up, we'll then just wipe the edges in, and you might say, oh, it's a bit rough, but I can tell you now, it's exactly how they look from factory. Just wipe it in with your finger. It's pretty untoxic, this stuff. It's not really going to kill you if you get a bit on yourself, so, and just wipe those edges in. So once we've done that, we'll then put it in the spray booth. I've also got the fender all scotchy just down on the insides to start off with, and I've masked it up too so I don't get the green overspray. This colour is Poison Ivy Green. It's a pretty cool colour. 679F, I'm pretty sure the colour code was. Don't quote me on that one. Yeah, so Poison Ivy, it's a locally built car here in Australia, Australian car. Holden Australia built it, which is General Motors. So the way I'm going to start off, so as I said, this colour was really poor for coverage, so the etch primer that we use here at work is actually green, so that's actually ended up being just a perfect ground coat to put down on the inside of this bonnet first. So it's also going to aid with a bit of adhesion as well. So we'll just start off as we usually do by giving it a tack rag. It's a brand new part, and it's only the inside, so I've decided I'm not going to give it a wipe over with the wax and grease remover. Also being that I'm painting it in base coat, you're not really going to, if you do get a wax hole or a piece of silicone coming up, well then you'll quite easily be able to just dust another coat of base coat on, and that'll get rid of it. So this video is pretty much largely unedited. I just stuck the two videos together, the couple of videos together, and cut out a couple of spots, and that's about all I really did. That's what I've been doing lately, just keeping the videos real. Yeah, exactly what I do. You guys get to see. So for this car, I actually film myself doing the whole job from start to finish. So this video is just going to be getting the panels edged up, and the next one will be prep work, and then I'll do a separate one of the paint work, masking and painting. So I'm now putting a wetter coat. I started off just with a tack coat, just to start getting some coverage, and also help it grip the etch primer. Pretty much any primer that is green is gonna stick like yeah, you know what, to a blanket. And yeah, basically it's really bad for you too. They've got an ingredient in there, they tell me it's called chromate or chromium or something like that, and it's extremely bad for you. Give you cancer in no time. So always make sure you wear a respirator when you're dealing with green primers. Something to be conscious of. See the panel beaters totally oblivious to it, and they spraying it all around the place over their repairs, and they don't listen to you when you're telling them to wear a respirator. But at the end of the day, it's up to them. They can do what they want. I'm not their mum or dad. So yeah, that's pretty much, we've already got our coverage now. And that's just with 2 coats of the etch primer. And what I'll do after this, I'll just go out and give the gun a bit of a flush through, flush that paint through, and then put the green in. I think it actually came straight in ready. That's right, I had it in another gun, so it's not going to take too long to dry. You can see that it, as soon as it starts flashing off, it'll be not shiny anymore. So I've got the heat cranked right up in this booth. It's a pretty good booth. It gets up. It's a really old booth. I'm not going to say it's a good booth, but it's good for the heat. When it starts cooling down, it gets up nice and warm for us. So yeah, some of us actually prefer this booth in the winter. So yeah, that's flashed off. We'll just start putting our first coat, a base coat on. On the inside, you can see where those little circles, those little low spots are. That's actually all covered by a bonnet felt or a hood felt. So I'm only going to put just the medium coat over there, and over the outsides where you see, I'm going to put 2 full coats or 2 medium coats over. It's where you're going to see. You actually find that from factory they do exactly the same thing. They don't actually use so much paint. They do it just to save on paint as well. Same reason I'm doing it. It's pretty expensive, these colours, is loaded full of pearls. I think I ended up mixing up about 650 mils to do this job, and there was probably about 20 grams of the powder pearl, and the powder pearl itself is about $100 for 50 grams, so it's quite expensive for those pearls. So I'm just going around edging that up. So now I'll just go and put that dust coat that I was talking about through the centre. That's about all it's really going to need. Just make it look even. It's not going to be full coverage, but just even. That's about all you really need. Just evening it up here and there, just to make sure I'm happy with it. So as I said, it's all covered anyway. So as far as the clear goes, which I'm putting on next, I had a look on the inside of the original bonnet for this car, and it was sort of, it's gloss, but it's like a real thin, pissy coat of clear that they've put over the top of it. It's like it looks to me like they just put 1 coat of clear on the inside, and then shut the bonnet, and then whatever clear has landed on that from when they're painting their second coat on the exterior has ended up making it just sort of dull off just a touch. So the way I've decided to replicate that was to make up my clear. I decided to put some racing additive in it just to speed it up, but that's not really going to get the desired gloss level. It's not going to change it too much. It may help it dull off, but the way I decided to get the gloss level on the inside of the fenders and the inside of the bonnet was to put some blending reducer in it and probably go up to about 20%, which is much more than you would usually use on the exterior panel. So it's going to make it really thin, and you're really not putting a full wet coat over it. You're just putting probably like a 80% coat over it. So it's going to be really peely, and it's just going to sort of not dull off 100%, but just give you that that sort of dusty look. So I was pretty happy with the gloss level I got. It matched up pretty nice to the rest of the inside. So. Just not too heavy, as I say. So I've already primed up the rest of the fenders. The boys actually did it the day before. So if I hadn't have already primed the insides, I could have prepped the whole guard, the whole fender up, and then primed the exterior, and then straight away gone and painted the grains straight on over that wet primer, and then be able to sand it off. But it's not the way I went around it this way. So here we go, we're just putting our one and only coat of clear on the inside of the bonnet, because it's all it's going to need. It's all they put on it, so there's no use in loading 2 coats of clear and using all the extra material, and because you don't need that durability on the inside of a panel as well. So you just need just that one coat just to seal it down. It's not going to be getting hit with the sunlight, and it's not going to be in the elements. So I've got a quick video of the car once it's finished off at the end here. You can check it out. I lie, it's not 100% finished off. It's it's been fitted up. Just needs a polish. We're gonna finish it off tomorrow actually. Give it a bit of a polish and clean it up for them. Also got a quick look at the car when it's in the spray booth, getting the exterior painted as well at the end. We'll also give you a quick look at the colour as well. So it turned out that this colour was perfect straight after mixing it up. I didn't end up having to colour match it at all. So, being that this clears so thin, because I put 20%, you might have to go just dust it over here and there, and it's drying so quick because I've got the booth on so warm. But it turns out that the gloss level is pretty much perfect to what it's meant to look like. I've always tried to make the cars look like they've never been in an accident. If it was my car and it was a full repaint, you'd make it look much better than this. But that's actually what they look like. So if someone that knows their stuff comes and has a look at this, they're not going to straight away say, oh, that's been painted before, because I've actually replicated the factory finish, which is something that you've got to be conscious of. So this is just, I did a spray out of the colour when I was painting the insides, and this is just a quick look at it. It's actually really quite good. I was quite happy with it. So there was no colour matching required, which was pretty handy. We just blended on that door, and we blended the fender on the other side as well. So using the 3M sun gun there, it's quite a handy tool. They have colour corrective lenses, globes in them, so there's just a quick clip of the car when I was painting it, and this is it once it's been fitted up. It just needs a bit of a polish. You can see a few fingerprints. So that's the gun off the gun finish that I ended up getting, which is pretty good. So there's a couple of other vids here. If you haven't already seen them, check them out. Thanks again for watching, and this has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.